Hey everybody, welcome in. I'm gonna give a few people a little time to come in on this side. There we go. Can you hear me, Miss V?
I can. Hi, everybody.
Awesome. All right, so we're gonna get started and we're gonna get about 10, 15 people in here, Miss V.
All right, let me share the live out. Hi,
Yes.
everybody. Happy Sunday.
Hey Coco. Yes. Ooh, are you excited, Miss V? Because I am.
Yeah. I want to almost say I'm nervous, but I'm not. I'm not really nervous.
Boy, just
It's
anxious.
something else. Anticipation. I think that's the best word. Anticipation.
Yes, I am very excited. Hey Shara, how you doing? Hey Lena, thank you for joining us today on Spiritual Tea with Vee and Key. We are excited to have y'all here, and we just waiting, get a few more people in. We gonna go and get started. Hey Alicia.
Tomorrow, Amber. So, how's your Sunday going, Keisha?
It is going amazing. I slept in today, so anytime I can get to sleep in,
Ooh,
that's
listen. I
everything for
slept
me.
to almost 8 o'clock. I was like, I felt accomplished because usually I'm up at 5:55, 6 o'clock every morning, like clockwork, and I be wanting to sleep in so bad.
I know.
Hey, Amber. Yeah, so,
Yes. Well, we
but you
want to
know
thank
what?
y'all. Look at
I
Rita.
was
Hey,
up late.
Rita.
Hey, Rita. I was up late looking at Sean Combs, The Reckoning. We got to talk about this at some point.
Yes. I heard it was, look, we can't talk about it without watching. I heard it was good.
No, I'm not gonna be the spoiler, but I rarely watch things like that. But everybody was talking about it. I said, let me check this out, girl.
Yes, I
Um,
heard it was good, but I definitely want to watch it because I definitely want to talk about it.
we have to. We
Yeah.
have to.
Well, we want to
Because
welcome
Sean
y'all
Combs is
in. We want to welcome y'all in to Spiritual Tea with V and Key. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So this space here we have developed for authenticity, for us to be able to just have our platform, our space to say what we need to say, feel what we need to feel without judgment. And so we want to
Mhm.
welcome you to Spiritual Tea with V and Key, where we sip the truth, we stir perspectives and explore spirituality and the life with open hearts. We debunk any myths. We honor the journey and remind you to seek God first for yourself. Pour up and let's get ready for some tea.
Let's do it.
Yeah, look, I see we both thought alike today. Wrap them heads up. Yes.
He's telling me to focus more on protection, and I had an interesting conversation about what that actually entails, which we could talk about another time. But yeah, so now I'm wrapping it up.
Yes. Look, I just woke up this morning. The first thing I said was wrap your hair up today because you can really feel it. You can really, really feel it. So we gonna definitely have to talk about that at a later time. But today, the topic we decided to talk about, and we do have a special guest who's gonna join in with us today. Yes, but the topic we chose to talk about today is basically from religion to truth. And so, with that being said, this is a safe space, a no judgment zone. We welcome all opinions. It's unfiltered, it's unedited, and it's unapologetic. So
Mhm.
we engage. That is why we chose TikTok as our platform to go on to because we do engage. We like to talk to y'all. We like to see what y'all have to say. We just want to, hey. Keep a G.
And we won't pass a collection plate around at the end of it either.
No, no collection plate over here. This was a free service. You ain't gotta pay it.
It's free.
Yes. So we do have our special guest with us, and many of y'all know her. And she's very near and dear to my heart. But she has had an amazing spirit experience on her journey. And so we thought it was a great topic. Actually, Miss V came up with this topic because we was talking about it on the phone. And I knew about this young lady's journey. And so we decided to have her up as our first guest. So we would like to welcome Coco to the screen. But Coco, you got to accept my invite. I can't keep sending you an invite, man.
My bad.
Coco,
Hi, y'all. How everybody doing?
We good.
girl. We're going to say that to the end. Welcome in, though. I'm so excited to hear your story.
Thank y'all for having me up here today. Me and Keisha been talking about this for a little while now, so I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this goes for you all on your platform. I know that both of you have a wealth of knowledge to share and to be able to encourage men and women. And I know this is a female dominant community, but I think everybody can gain from the insight and the knowledge that both of you all have. So I'm proud of both of you and excited to watch this journey. So thanks for having me.
Well, thank you. We love to have you here with us. And I'm gonna let Miss V do some talking because I need to figure some stuff out over here. Okay.
Can y'all
So,
hear
do
me
you want
okay
to go
though?
ahead and start with Coco, or are we just going to talk for a little bit?
No, I just want let's just talk. Let's just let it flow. This ain't no we structured. We ain't got none of that going on.
Thank God.
This is
Well,
authentic space.
Well, you know, one thing that kind of hit me this week. I'm still working through my journey, and a big part of my journey has just been not only the grief I feel from the loss of my loved one, but I realized pretty quick that there are a lot of wounds that I've been carrying my entire life that have been speaking for me, making decisions for me, and I never really realized how deep that went, right? And the one part of grief that people really don't give you the space to process is the anger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it looks like tears, it looks like breaking down, but there's a lot of unprocessed rage in that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And feeling like I can't really express that without somebody saying, well, you know, they're gone and just let it go and you got to release. But here's the part of releasing nobody talks about. You have to actually feel that shit. You have to actually go through those emotions. You can't just stick them up under a rock and say, well, I released it. I'm good now. Nah, I got some serious damn rage in me that I really need to address. And it's really uncomfortable for me to process it because I'm a pretty laid back person. Everybody, the word that people will most often use to describe me, I don't know if it's true or not, is sweet.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part of my personality that most people catch, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there is this deep well of with the price of being sweet.
Mm-hmm.
All the things that someone said to me that I ate, all the feelings that I felt that I didn't express because I wanted to keep the peace.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be that person. And it's not just the grief. It's and the biggest part, and I said this to somebody yesterday, the forgiveness that I'm working through is not for them motherfuckers. It's forgiving myself for allowing these people to treat me the way they have treated me, and me still extending grace, me is still extending love, me still extending all the things that I wanted them to give to me. And it's like I'm calling this circle, this cycle, like, and I'm really ready to break free from that. So I want to get more into that as we go along, but I'm trying to tell you it's really to a point that if I can't address these things the way they need to be addressed, I can't move what spirit has for me next.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we need to give ourselves permission to be pissed the fuck off. We need to give ourselves permission to say fuck you and mean that shit with our whole chest and excuse my mouth, but this is how it's coming out of me. This is how I feel.
Now you
And
speak your
I'm just so
feelings.
sick of people trying to silence me every time I say some shit. Oh, and you know, and people really need to start listening to themselves in these spaces. You can't be a safe space when every time somebody open their mouth, you make it about yourself,
Yes.
your experience through your lens. People not living through your lens. They're not living through your experience. They live in their own journeys. They're traveling their own journeys. So when you take your shit and put it on somebody else, you're projecting. And you're not being real with yourself or them. So that's what I had to say. That was on my mind.
No, but you are absolutely correct. I'm dealing with that myself. Like it's not just about the grief and what I lost with death. It's about what I've lost in an entirety as a person by being a sweet person. I when people say that now, it's like, okay, because now I'm learning to embrace my shadow side, the side that won't cut your ass out and mean every word of it. Yeah, I'm learning to embrace that person because that's who I should have been all along. Honestly, that's who I started out as, speaking my mind freely. But somewhere along the road, I was silenced to make others feel better, and that ain't how I'm living no more. Me and Coco, we just talked about that. We literally just had that conversation. So hey, feel it. You feel it, speak it. And I resonate with that totally because I'm going through that now. And it's a pit in my stomach.
Yeah.
You know, every time I feel that way, I get a certain feeling in my stomach. And so now that I'm aware of where that feeling is coming from, I don't want to feel it because I don't like it. So speak your mind. That's what it tells me now. When I feel that feeling, say what the fuck you want to say and mean
Can we talk about why? Can we go even a little deeper, Keisha?
it.
Because that didn't just happen. That part of us didn't just happen. It happened the moment all those little thousand things that happened when you were a little kid and somebody made you feel like it won't safe to express yourself, to say what exactly the hell was on your mind. Because what's one of the biggest things you hear growing up in a Black household? Children should be seen and not heard.
Not heard or stay in a child's place.
Right. We are not taught to process our emotions in a healthy way. And if you're not able to emotionally regulate yourself, how the hell can you teach that to somebody else? You know, how the hell can you, like with your kids, how can you teach them healthy ways to express anger and sadness? And then you can look at the world and see that most people do not have control of their emotions. Like they'll hold that shit till it's just so thick and long that it's an explosion. Or you're depressed and you don't know how to tell people that. And to be fair, people don't make it easy, but we don't know how to get those things out where we can examine them. How can you heal what you can't acknowledge?
Right.
It is my, and it just keeps going on and on. Now you got kids. And one thing I always prided myself on as a mother was giving my children space to express how they felt to me. No matter how much I had to swallow and be like, well, you know, you're right. Mama make mistakes too. That's a hard thing for a lot of parents to do.
Yeah, but one thing I did do with that, Ms. V, and with my healing journey as well, because I used to be like, how can I get it done? When it's time to be done, it will happen. And it comes with self-awareness. When I started to know what my body is feeling, when I have certain experiences, that's when I started to notice how to heal my trauma. I don't want to feel it. That was what I told myself. I don't want to feel it. So let me make myself feel something else until it becomes embodied in me. Even now, I'm living in a household with my mama. You know, my niece told me the other day, she said, Grandma don't let me be myself. What you mean? It's because my mom is still rooted in that traditional way of operating and thinking. And my niece, like, I just want to be me. But she came to TT because she understands, she knows that TT understands what she's saying. I just want to be me. And so I allow her to express herself for her individuality. But um to go back to what you were saying, I can't expect my mama to teach me how to work through my trauma when she ain't even work through her own. You feel me? So that's why I'm deeply rooted in your trauma is not your fault, but your healing, that shit is your responsibility.
That's on me. That's on me. And I'm sorry, I feel like I just went all off on a whole nother tangent away
Look,
from
that's
our
okay. This was the discussion that was needed and meant to have. So we can table the other discussion because I don't even remember what that was. So
healing fear and finding truth from
yeah,
religion to relationship.
Well, I think that's still a part of it, right? Because grief is not just the loss of somebody transitioning from this realm to the next. We grieve relationships. We grieve traumas in some capacity as well, right? So for me, what started my awakening was the loss of my brother. My little brother drowned at 2 years old in a neighbor's pool because he got out the house, right? And so at that time, I was 6. So for me, I didn't realize, but what I internalized was the fear of my own death at that age. I didn't go through I didn't go through therapy. My parents didn't know how to address it. They kind of swept it under the rug. It was something that we didn't talk about. And this was my dad's kid. So this is not my mom's kid, right? So she don't know how to even approach that because she doesn't have any kind of emotional attachment to this. But what I realized in my journey is, like you said, Ms. V, I had anger in this because I felt guilty because of what the circumstances was, right? This was my dad's child that he lost. He spiraled into a real bad drug addiction. And that impacted everybody. That impacted the whole family. And I ain't talking about just, one of them ones where it's just nice and he functional. Yeah, he functional, but he's still in a family car. And pawning it to the dope man. And that happened to me, to my mom, to my aunt, and to my stepmom, right? And so this is real. This is a real drug addiction. This was what the closet drug addiction folks didn't know you was getting high. No, this is out in the open and in your face. And there was a part of me, once I started my healing journey, that didn't feel like I had the right to be angry. There was a part of me that felt like it wasn't right because, he lost his son. So you lost your brother. You was neglected. You weren't cared for. Nobody considered how it made you feel. It was all about my dad, right? Because, now we got to try to make sure you clean. Now we got to make sure you good. Nobody was checking for Coco. And so in regards to that, there's even that space of being angry that they didn't know how. They just didn't know how, right? Like in the 80s, who was taking their little black kids to therapy?
Not nobody.
Nobody. And so this wasn't a thing that was being talked about in our community. I don't even know if it was in the Caucasian community, to be honest. Like, nobody was really doing it. And so here I am because this was like, it came up in like 2017. So what's that, 8 years ago? I'm in my 30s. And it's just boom, woke up one day and it was in my face. And it felt to me like my brother had just died that day. That's how real it came. When you talk about people going and digging up the stuff that you had buried and it coming up to the surface, that's what happened for me. And I couldn't explain it. And I resonate when people say, I feel like I was going crazy, because I felt like I was going crazy. I felt like I was losing my mind. And I was talking to my husband at the time, and I'm like, I don't know what happened. January 1st, 2017, but this thing became real for me. That fear was in my face. It was a stagnant thing. And I just didn't know how to, process that. And so my journey has guided me to all different areas. Oh man, yeah. Mental health is really taboo. And so it was like, okay. So now here I am, somewhat detaching from the church, because I feel like the church is failing me. I feel like the first thing they're going to say is that, oh, that's a demon. Oh, you got, I done got attached or a hold to something. I ain't been doing nothing wrong.
Coco.
Yes, ma'am.
When you say that the church was failing you, could you give us more details of what way you try to work your grief with them?
Let me say this. Let me retract that, because I didn't seek the church. Let me be clear. I didn't seek the church out of fear that they were gonna tell me that it was demonic. That fear was sitting over on my shoulder. One day, some days it would feel like fear was sitting here. You know, you got the devil and the angel. Fear was right here. God was right there. And I'm praying. This is why I'm feeling like church was failing me. Because I'm praying. I'm begging. I'm pleading. God, I don't know what this is. Please, please, just take this fear away from me. You know, we laying on the floor. I'm snotting, crying, speaking in tongues, all the things that they tell you to do. Tap into your, you know, your heavenly language and all of these things. But what it did not lead me to was the church. It sent me to therapy. I ended up getting Reiki readings. I ended up getting touch therapy sessions. I ended up at a Buddhist yoga meditation class. I ended up all over, and it was not the church. And when I tell you the love that I received from other people, it was not judgment. And that's what I was afraid of with the church. I no longer wanted to be judged. My daddy, okay, let's talk about it, is a Baptist minister.
Stop playing.
With a suitcase full of judgment. Right? And so he, even now, like when I stopped going to church, it was like, oh, you forgetting about God. I never said nothing about God. I said I'm done with church. And so it's obvious to me that people parallel the two, that they're synonymous. And I had to have the same conversation with my godmom too. I never said nothing about God. God is always with me. God has been with me and gonna continue to be with me, whether I'm in those four walls of y'all church or I'm in the four walls of my home calling on his name. Because truth be told, many of us had our come to Jesus moment outside of church.
May I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I'm sorry to keep interrupting you.
No. I was kind of.
So do you feel that the God that's a part of your life and your spiritual journey now is the same God you grew up with in church? Are they the same in your mind?
I'm gonna say that when I was in church, the God that I served at that time was in their box. Well, he was in the box of religion and dogma and judgment and you know, the hellfire and brimstone, but God is love. But now the God that I know now is so much bigger than that. And I feel so much more love, I will say, because I don't have that fear mongering on my back.
I can relate to that, Coco. When I was in church, God was in a box for me.
Yep.
It was this rigid man on the cross. And so it made me live rigid, you know, full of stress, tension. That was my body's response to it. Now I can honestly say that I think I still struggle with the concept of what is God, or who is God. Because for me now, what brings me peace, what I resonate with is God is everything. Like literally, he's in this box. He's in this floor. He's in this wall. You know, like that is what brings me peace. Because when I think about what I was taught God was, it brings that fear back to me. So I will resonate with what brings me peace. And it may not look the same for Coco, may not look the same for you, but that's what brings me peace.
Yes. And that's what I love about it. I'm just sorry. I feel like our relationship with God is individualistic. I feel like the religion had tried to push it to like, well, your relationship is supposed to look like this. And if it don't look like this, there's something wrong with you. You need to go back to the altar. You need to tarry for 20 hours. And you need to be speaking in tongues when you're coming out in the G. And if you ain't there, then something wrong with you. I'm going to share a story with y'all. We was at church. And Ms. Vee, I'm going to let you go. We was at church. And my cousin was our pastor at the time. And we was visiting church, but it was our pastoral anniversary. So we had our pastoral anniversary. And at the time, I was a church secretary. I was on the praise team. And so they had did an altar call. And man, another pastor had facilitated this altar call. A young man answered the altar call. He went up there, and they talked to him. They prayed for him, and did the prayer repentance, and then they said, have you been filled with the Holy Ghost? He said no. Would you like to be filled with the Holy Ghost? He said yes. All right, so they go through this practice or whatever you want to call it, these say this, do this, and blah blah blah. All right, keep going. Yeah, it's all the hyping up, the music hyping you up, all this stuff. And he didn't get it. I'm gonna just get there. He didn't get it. And there was some shaming behind him not getting it that just really vexed my spirit. Because this young man came with an open heart. He had the courage to come to the altar to ask God to enter his heart, to forgive him for his sins and all the things. Y'all know the script. And you gonna shame him in front of these crowd of people because he ain't speaking in tongues when he leave? Well, you go over there and you sit down, type of thing. And it wasn't an altar worker that came and worked with him. Nothing. To teach him what the Holy Spirit is, what does it mean to be speaking in tongues? None of it. And it vexed me so bad when he went to see his seat. I went over there and I had a conversation with him, and I said, don't you let them shame you and make you feel like you're inadequate because you didn't get something. I said, I'm going to tell you, when I got filled with the Holy Ghost, as they say, I wasn't in church. I was at home in my bed, and it was me and God. And so if you for real about this thing, you talk to God, yourself in the privacy of your home. Mm-hmm. And when you ready, that thing will be there. But don't you feel, and I talked to him, he's like, are you a personal, what do you say, motivational speaker? And I said, no, but I want to make sure that you was good. Because what I don't want is you leaving up out of here feeling like you less than because they trying to make it seem like you ain't got God in your life because you ain't speaking in tongues. It don't matter. It's folks in church speaking in tongues and they full of the devil. And so I could not allow him to leave that church feeling any less than he came. And that's my issue a lot of times with it. I don't have no real problem with it. But when they get into the logistics of it and all that other old bashing and hellfire brimstone stuff, I be cool on them. So I just want to share that little story because it vexed me real bad.
Thank you, Coco, for sharing. For me, I feel like everybody got to do what they got to do when they got to do it. Because everybody not going to come to the same understanding at the same time.
Yes.
I don't practice religion because I don't believe in it.
Yeah.
I really never have. I always had questions, and my grandfather would pop me in the mouth and say, you don't question God. Well, I'm not questioning God. I'm questioning y'all ass. That's what I think to myself.
Yes.
But one of the things that I live in the South in what they call the Bible Belt. So it's just easy for me to let people do what they're going to do. Because again, I respect people's belief system. I don't have to be a part of it, but I give you that respect that you have your own beliefs, right? The problem I have with most Christians is they don't have that same respect for other people.
No, they don't. Absolutely.
The respect that you show them and letting them, that's what you believe. Because what I said to the person that was trying to debate me, and I'm not trying to debate, but I do believe that there's a reason why Christianity was set up the way it was. It was for control and indoctrination.
No doubt.
They do,
that's why I left.
If it's good, if something good happened, oh, you blessed and highly favored God. If something bad happened, it's the devil. But it removes all personal responsibility from you
to be accountability
for the decisions that you're making, that you are the author and the director of your life. Do shit happen that's outside of our control? Yes. Correct. But a lot of things we experience are because we hand control over our lives to other people with an agenda that don't match our needs or nor desires. Because how come it is that when the pastor need money for the church, he can ask, but when you need some shit, he tell you to pray? Make it make sense.
What you said.
Just
I'm,
make it make sense. That's all I'm asking.
yeah, and there's very
And
few
when you
churches that do that, that actually give to
exactly,
the partitioners. Yeah.
But
but when
that's a
you
wide
remove personal
spectrum. It's a
responsibility, people
wide
can't find.
spectrum. It's a wide spectrum of that, Miss V. Like that's just one experience of it. Like man, like it's a lot that the church don't do that they say they do. You know, helping the community, that's a small part of it. I question God. I question religion. I question everything. And like you, I got my ass toe up. Cause why are you questioning God? And so,
Wow. Mm-hmm.
but I grew up in a household where from a baby, I didn't know nothing outside of God. Like
Mm-hmm.
we couldn't play cards in the house. Like it was deep. Like we in church Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We might get a break on Friday, you know, like we in there. And
Twice on Sunday.
so, right. So I didn't know anything outside of that. But I remember being in the church and so the pastor's niece, we were young. She used to pick with me. And so one day I told her ass up and I got in trouble, you know, and I couldn't understand it. And even with my grandma, and I'm like, Grandma, you know I wasn't wrong, like, you know, but I couldn't understand why I got in trouble. So that was like the first thing for me. And then I remember being pregnant with my daughter. It was little things that happened over the time, but this was the most impactful for me. I was pregnant with my daughter. I just found out I was pregnant. I was 17. And I went to the church because my family had shamed me so bad. Like, and I still deal with it now to this day because I had a full scholarship to school. Like when I got pregnant and my family thought everything, every dream I had was snatched from me. Like I'm like, I know I can go to school with a baby. I know there's daycares. Like I'm trying to build a way. Even when I tried to switch it and go to the Marines, no one would take custody of my baby. But a long story short, I was pregnant with her. And I went to the church just to hear from God. You know, I just went to, it was choir rehearsal. I didn't plan on getting in the choir. I didn't plan on doing nothing but sitting on that front row and just feeling and hearing from God. That's what I was desiring. And the pastor walked in and he walked down to the front where I was and he told me I better not get in his choir stand. And I was like, I wasn't planning on getting in the choir stand. Um, but basically he told me in so many words, he was like, no teenage pregnancies will be honored or allowed in his choir stand. But that it made me, I already feel like an outcast in the church for one. And for two, that was what made me walk away from that church particularly. And from there I kept seeking God at different churches. I'm like, maybe if I get the right preacher, the right teacher, you know, I searched all over and I just felt myself more and more lost, more and more lost. Like didn't know my left from my right, basically lost. And so I started to think God wasn't real. Don't talk to me about God. Like I don't want to hear nothing about God. I was angry with even the thought of God. But over time, God started to reveal itself to me. And I don't remember going on my deep dive. I don't even know how I got into learning about spirituality. I was on Pinterest. That's what it was. I was on Pinterest and I saw one picture. And from there, I just went down a rabbit hole. But I have so much understanding about myself now and just in life in general that I never would have got if I would have kept searching within the church or within religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing,
Because you know
go ahead,
something,
Miss
I'm
V.
sorry.
Go.
But I wanted to say, because think about it, you're searching outside of yourself for something that's already in yourself. My grammar may not be on point, but what I'm trying to say is the church has numbed those gifts and abilities that we come here with and force us to go through a third party to seek the knowledge that's already in us.
Mhm.
We don't need a pastor or a minister or an evangelist to talk to God because God already in us. We are of God. He is of us.
We are the God.
So we start seeking outside of ourselves. And now, instead of getting messages that are basically helping us evolve and grow the way we're supposed to, we get messages that keep us in a perpetual state of fear, poverty. And I'm not talking about just material poverty. I'm talking about the mindset. Because, since I've been in this community, which admittedly has not been very long, I meet people all the time watching their lives and stuff. And I can really see the mindset that they brought from the church that's still there, directing their path, making the way they move with people. They say that, you're in this spiritual space, but you're still moving like you at St. John's. You feel me? So
Oh yeah.
my discernment is just getting to the point that everything that people out there, I'm not going to eat it all because it's not for me.
Oh,
What's for
absolutely.
me going to be for me. But the reason I say that because we all now have this discernment.
Yes.
We all now tapped into the God that is real for us, right? And He different to all of us because we different people. That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, and the grieving. I just want to share this because I don't think I never really talked about how things went down with me, and I don't want to take over because I know you got to get back to Coco. But I firmly remember when I walked into the church at Racky's funeral, and I was already just trying to get from the door to my seat because I was so weak in my body. And I saw Apostle, right? And she hugged me, and maybe it wasn't how she meant it to be, but that moment when she said, I haven't been back to a church since.
Okay.
Because she said to me, it is what it is. And I'm thinking, it's just, you can't talk to me about compassion and love for people you ain't never gonna meet, people that's long dead and gone in the book you keep holding up to me to tell me this how I'm supposed to be living. And I'm standing here right in your front of your face. I know you can see I'm distraught. I'm grieving. All I needed was you to hug me and say I love you. That's all I needed.
Well, sister, it's gonna be all right.
Right. But for you to come with it is what it is, that just seems so cold and callous.
That was very cold.
And I just feel like that's part of the problem with the church. They more concerned about the building than they are the people in the building.
So,
right, church.
Going back to what you said about people coming out of religion, and you're seeing the waves still carried over until now. That's how deep that root was. I even catch myself now still. Right. I even still catch myself now with some of that programming still residing in me, So I just feel we have to give people grace with that because it's a different thing. That oppression, that mental oppression,
Yeah, deconstructing is a lot of work.
It is.
Work.
I found myself just not only just mad, but just ready to just throw the Bible all the way away.
I did.
And now it's funny because I just did for our Oracle class last week we went live with Rita. But in the class I did a reading for Georgia. And remember Georgia was eating some watermelon. And the message that Spirit gave her was treat life like the watermelon. Take what's sweet and spit out what no longer serves you. And I feel the same way about the Bible. And I had somebody to say that because there's principles in there that you can apply to your life that can be beneficial to you and serve you for your highest good. And there's some stuff in there that you already know folks have put in there to keep you bound and keep you locked in to their programming.
And that's why I look at the Bible as being like a self-development book. It doesn't have that holier than thou reign over me anymore. It's a self-development book, just like I read books about chakras. I read books about the laws of attraction, mastery. Like the Bible is now considered a self-development book for me. I mean, I got 2-3 copies of the Bible right here.
Too many.
Right. And do I Do I take everything out of it? Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing in particular, like the serenity prayer got me through my grief.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It got me through my grief with losing my brother, and I still apply that to my life now. The serenity prayer, and I got that from the Bible. So,
Yeah.
like you say, certain things you can take out of there. Take what resonates with you, throw the rest of that shit in the garbage. Even my last time attending a church, I went 3 Sundays in a row, and the pastor was talking about witches and warlocks, all three. And I wouldn't even dig in deep into none of it, but it just kept, every time he said it, I'm looking around like, where they at? Not passing no judgment, but I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, if he say this next Sunday when I walk up in this church, then I know it's a problem. And he did. And that's when I caught on to it, because I used to be very open on my Facebook page about my spiritual journey, very open on social media, and I still am.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when I noticed that they were monitoring me, and then I started to dig deeper into monitoring spirits. But they were monitoring me through social media. And for me, I was finding me. And for them, they were casting judgment on me.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the last time I stepped foot in anybody's church. Like, I don't even want to go to the building for it,
That's funny that they monitoring you, but they can't keep up with Brother John getting it on with Sis Sally behind the church every Tuesday.
Especially when he broke
I'm
the
just
door.
saying they can
That's
find the most to focus on. It's just like in families, how they can find every little thing to correct you, but they can't get the family child molest. Well, I don't know if I could say that on the line, but the things we choose to
yeah, it's
focus our
true.
energy on is just crazy to
It's
me.
insane.
It's
Yeah.
true. And
Um,
that's acceptable though. See, that's the thing. They
yeah,
have there's this thing that where there's certain sins is acceptable, right? Certain things is an abomination to the Lord. And then it's okay if you tell a little white lie. If you just, you know, like you say, sleep with somebody else's wife, yeah, it's okay. Now that's a part of the 10 Commandments. Thou should not covet another man's wife, but yet that has become an acceptable sin. You can sleep with the women in the church knowing that you married. The pastor's got a wife sitting on the front pew, but he's sleeping with some of the choir members. That's all cool.
Getting babies by him and everything, but that's a whole other
However,
key topic.
my gay nephew coming to church, oh, we can't, oh no, that's just unnatural. It's what you mean?
But
You
9
can't tell
times out of 10, the choir director is gay himself. So, like, it's acceptable for you to
sometimes the
be
pastor
gay.
be on the down low.
Now, it ain't just the choir director. I mean, and that don't bother me, but you bothered by it. But you the one up here preaching this thing. I look I've been in the church my whole life. I never really believed it because it didn't make sense to me. The Bible itself just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
When you read it through as a book, it just never made sense to me. And so I told someone here recently because I get tired of trying to. I'm at a point I'm not going to defend how I feel.
Yeah.
Anymore. What I said to them was, if you piss on the rim of my plate, and even though that piss don't get on none of my food, you think I'm eating that shit? That's how I feel about the Bible. That's exactly how I feel about the Bible. I can't trust nothing in here at face value because y'all done corrupted the shit so much. I don't know what's what. So I would rather rely on my own spirit, my connection with spirit, what spirit is feeding me, the people that he's bringing into my life to give me the things that I need. And that's not to say I don't believe in God. It just, I believe in source. I believe there's a source of creation. But your version is what I don't accept. And I'm not going to pretend like I accept that shit just to make you comfortable. Well, if you're uncomfortable, get the fuck from around me. I mean, that's what you can do.
But let's be clear, because they don't even fully believe it because they don't be living it. They live it on Sunday, and then the devil Monday through Saturday. Like, let's be clear. Like, these people don't really be following these principles and these rules and regulations that the Bible talks about. They don't.
Half of them
Nope.
don't know them.
They don't even know. Exactly. They listen to what the pastor preach on the pulpit
Right.
and never
And
open
that's
their Bible
it.
through the week to even know what it's saying.
And,
You know.
and a thing that, like, you know, I remember, like Keisha, I wasn't married when I had my children, and you know, people had a lot to say about everything. They never had no damn money to contribute, but they had a lot to say about everything. And I distinctly remember my holier than thou cousin, you know, and I want to bring her up because she is a prime example of who we are surrounded by right now. Now, and this is not body shaming nobody either, but my cousin every bit of almost 400 pounds, right? And my sister, who has some issues, told her, "Oh, you know what? I got saved, just like Coco. I got saved, and I accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior." And she looked my sister dead in the eye and said, "You're not saved because you got on pants."
Man, the
And I
pants used
said,
to take
"Well,"
me out of there.
"well,
Ooh, the
how can
Pentecostal
you
is
be
something
saved
else.
when obviously you participating in the sin of gluttony?" You know, I'm just putting it out there. Isn't that one of y'all
Well,
7 deadly sins? Now
yes,
you
ma'am.
see, you ain't get that weight. Just okay. And I won't try to body shame her, but I wanted her to understand here how she sounded, because they can always dish it, but they can't take it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Ooh, I wish I'd
So,
have been in the room.
girl, and people don't even be messing with me no more like that because I'm my mouth is getting slicker. A lot of this rage, they didn't make it, but hey, honey, you can catch it. She didn't have a response, Alicia. She just looked at me. She did go back and tell my mama and my granddaddy that I was disrespectful. How am I disrespectful for simply pointing out the truth?
See,
Because
that's like I
y'all tear
said.
people down with your words, you know. And even when I'm giving readings, I'm real careful with my words
Yes, ma'am.
because words tear people apart. They can change
Absolutely.
the trajectory of where they're going. Right? You can
Absolutely.
tell the truth without brutalizing folks. Right?
No,
I don't
absolutely.
brutalize people with my words
What you
because I'm
said,
going to talk to you how I want you to talk to me,
as you
right?
could.
Unless you piss me off, then that's a whole nother situation. Then that other part of that Gemini starts showing up. But I'm just saying, people, they always got a lot to say, but you some of the most unkind,
Mm-hmm.
judgmental, mean,
Like
cruel
a
people I
Mm-hmm.
ever met in my life. Like y'all miserable as fuck.
what they say, like a junkyard dog.
Yeah,
Baby,
it's just
mean.
like if you so much, if this religion is the holy grail of religions, like y'all
Man, it's
claim y'all
terrible.
the only true religion, why y'all so miserable? Why
That's a
you so
great
miserable?
question.
That's a valid question.
That's a very valid question.
I really, and you
They
know,
fin- they getting ready to throw their phone in the chat, Miss V. You speaking too good.
but I mean, if you're happy with yourself and you're happy with the life you're living, you have no need to go out and destroy somebody else's peace. You have no need to be the source of misery and pain, right? And you look at
Mm-hmm.
how they inflict pain on people, and then they hide their hands. Oh
So
no,
Yes.
it's not me. It's the word. The word said you do such and such and such and such and such.
Yes. It does. They do. They do. They
did y'all
really
see the
do.
video?
Alicia, yes,
Did y'all saw that video with that young girl?
yes,
Oh, I shared.
In the
calling the churches.
yes.
She was at church and they was trying. She was saying what she was thankful for.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And that was insane. But you saw it in real time. You saw how they use religion to manipulate you in real time. It
Yeah,
was
that was just.
Yeah,
I hadn't
Evan.
seen it that blatant, but it wasn't shocking. But my heart hurt it for that young lady because
Alicia said she wanted to fly out there and save.
oh, I did too, because
man, yes,
that was, and I'm so transparent. I be trying to just see both sides of the spectrum. It wasn't no other side of the spectrum with that. That was pure sickening. How dare you? You ask her to tell you what she's grateful and what she's thankful for. And then when she get up there to speak her mind and tell you from what she
my
feel from
heart.
her heart, she gets chastised for it on camera.
Well, this was the thing that got me too. It wasn't even just that one person did it. she
It
was
was,
being backed. The shenanigans was being backed by the other adults in the room,
yes.
because there was somebody in the background. That's right, train them up. And then somebody else that was standing behind the kids, who maybe like was the kids director or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
She also, was correcting the little girl or chastising her, however you want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they said don't touch her. Yeah, she was telling them not to touch her, and they kept touching her. They just, it was sickening, honestly. And I try not to get too deep into it, because I know I said this to some people and they was
But
like,
it
I
was
couldn't stomach it.
also the fact
But
that,
it was very apparent.
and it was the holy oil. Like, don't come touch it. Why are you touching it? Talking about they casting out
Yeah,
demons
that
out
the
this baby.
demon of
They the
rebellion,
damn
because she
demons.
she wait a minute. This is what I didn't get. You asked me what I'm thankful for. I tell you, and because I didn't say that it was Jesus. I didn't say that it had anything to do with y'all religion, that I was in rebellion, and the devil that in me that was rebelling needed to be casted out. That was
Did
that
you
baby.
hear? Did you hear exactly what she was grateful for?
Yeah.
She was grateful for having a listening ear.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Well,
that my grandma, that I can go to my stepmom when I need
look,
somebody to talk to.
Look who
and
hold
can
on.
we talk about the elephant in that room? The internalized misogyny is just they train these, and we and us too.
Oh
We
yeah.
was trained up to, and then when you get older and you start unpacking all that shit and realizing why you let so much go on, why you went through the situation you did, why you accepted the bullshit you accepted, all you got to do is track back to granddaddy, who was the deacon that sat on the front row every Sunday at church. Who was the patriarchy is just so alive and well in these spaces,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's never going to change. And
Well,
they wonder why people are leaving the church in droves. They're leaving religion, not God.
Not God,
yes,
They're
right?
that's what
leaving
people.
religion
Yeah.
because it's not serving us. It hasn't served us as women. It don't serve us as black women. It just is not serving us, and we
It has
gotta
never
deconstruct.
served. It has never served a purpose. It has
No.
not through slavery, not through the Romans, the Greeks, none of it. It was created to oppress from the beginning of time.
Mm-hmm.
Every chapter of that was created to oppress.
Yeah.
So it never served us. All of the and this is my personal opinion from reading and learning and studying the Apocrypha. I'm not all the way through with it, so I don't want to dig too deep into it. But what I have read in some of the books has been enlightening and eye opening. So it's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
it talks about your gifts. You know,
Yeah.
it talks about the fairies and the extraterrestrial beings. You know, it talks about that. So that lets you know that this ain't nothing new. Like, this is just what y'all took from us. This is what y'all hid. So, I mean, it's just at this point in time, religion has oppressed so much that the deprogramming that we want to see happen overnight, it's not. It's gonna take years and
Yeah.
years and years.
Yeah, because it took years and years to program us. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? They started us when we was a child. Train up a child in the way that they should go. So when they are old, they will not depart from it. Baby, I departed. And I'm
I'm
so
the part.
grateful I departed. I don't know what to do. And so
Mhm.
many people don't understand that, because like I said, they make God synonymous with the church, and it's not. The crazy thing that gets me is Jesus in his quest, right? Going from the different cities, in his I'm gonna say it's his ministry. They never did go to church. They was outside, and the people were just piling in like a amphitheater outside. You know what I'm saying? Outside, he stood somewhere high so everybody can listen, and they settled it, stood, and they did their thing. It wasn't four walls, but we have done this because, our good old government, they found a way to monetize. That's it. That's all. Because even in the slavery days, they really weren't going to no churches then. The slaves couldn't go to church. The slaves had to sit out in the field and collect. And they started putting some pews out there and some chairs in the podium and say, you better preach. Tell them, thus said the Lord. You know, and that's the thing. I'm like, man, we have gotten so far away from what churches was really designed for, or that now it's community to me. For most people, it's not about the teaching. It's not about the reverence of God. Really want to tap in and hear from God. It's about the community and socialization. And that's one of the other reasons that I stopped going. Because if God is about church, when I come to church, I don't play about it. I go to church. I want to hear it's a one-on-one thing for me. I don't care what y'all eating after church. I don't want to hear about if we going to get dinner. I don't want to hear none of that. I came here because I got something on my heart that I need God to hear from. I need to hear from God about. And so I need that minister to talk specifically to me. But it's gotten so far away from that, and it's to a point for me that it's disrespectful. When you go to a church where reverence is instilled from the head, because I went to a church and my pastor was like, we not doing that talking. You don't talk during service. Ain't no talking. Ain't no socializing. I might see Miss V, give Miss V a hug, and I'm going to my seat. Talk to you after service, girl. That's it. It ain't none of that. So when we come in, it's one-on-one. We going straight worship, praise and worship, and then it's the word. We do one offering and we going home. It ain't 15 offerings. Well, the offering plate was a little short today. You know, we got to pay these bills. And when I tell you, it was the biggest church I had ever been to. The church it used to be a mall, and they had repurposed the mall for the church. The church had a gymnasium. They had meeting rooms. They had chapels. They had everything. But yet they still found a way to take care of their expenses. And I'm going to tell you, it was packed, but it wasn't as packed as it probably needed to be so they can keep paying them bills. But the pastor never came back and asked for more. They talked about their tithes and offering and whatever, and let it be that. Since we on that,
I can't stand when they be up there at the top, at the front of the church, and they be like, Sister so and so gave $100, Sister Young gave $50, and Sister, girl, you talking
did
about?
you see? Did you see the video with Marvin Winans that circulated?
No.
So real quick, they were doing, seed offerings. He had asked everybody to give so much. The minimum was 1,000. Okay. And it basically, he created a hierarchy on giving. Okay. If you were giving, everybody give a minimum of 1,000. If you want to give another 1,000, then you come with this group. If you give your first 1,000 and another 2,000, then you do that. But you got to give a minimum of 1,000, right? And the people were coming down to the altar, excuse me, to say what they were giving when they gave their giving. Pastor, I'm believing the Lord for. I'm here with my seed for me on behalf of me and my family, and this is my first 1,000, and then I'm coming, and then I got 200. Now that wasn't the direction that he gave. Okay, the lady that came up that they got didn't follow instructions, and when I say he checked her in front of all them people, not sis, thank you for your gift, your giving. May God continue to bless you abundantly, you and your family, for your gift that you sown. No, that wasn't what he said. You don't listen.
Elisa.
Cheeto Man is currently asking for donations on social media for a seat in heaven. Oh, yes.
First of
Yes, I
all,
heard about that.
I
I
ain't
heard
giving no
about that.
man
That's crazy to
$1,000
me.
unless he meet me in my car afterwards and we got some plans. Okay,
I
that's
heard
first
about
and
that.
foremost.
And that's
Okay, but
crazy.
what if she didn't have $1
She
to
shouldn't have
put
got up
in?
there. Basically, she didn't follow instructions. She should have been at the back of the line. Her and her son should have been in the position that they was in, because they wasn't up there with the other folks who was given as they were instructed, basically.
Well, that serves me right. That ain't even what they teach in the Bible,
What
is
I
it? Because the
no,
Bible teaches that
give
your
10%.
giving is supposed to be private, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So
They were going down they stood in line and they were saying, what it was that they was given. What purpose do that serve? Like, that's what I said. It has become a business. It's not about the hearts. It's not about the souls. It's not about helping folks. You know, and people still try to justify, oh, well, she didn't follow directions. Why is it even a direction to be had? Like,
He held people hostage.
Yeah, Army. Prosperity giving. That's prosperity.
yes. And they make it seem as though that your blessings is attached to the money. Oh, baby,
Mhm.
let me tell you. She took the rebuke with a smile. She sure did. She sure did. I can't tell you how many times I've been to a service. Give, right? You only God can do it, right? I didn't gave my last with the expectation that God is gonna do something for me that week based on my giving.
So let's go back to what Army said. Hey Army,
Didn't get a
let's go
thing.
back to what Army said because I'm just starting to read in the comments. Now it got good. I'm now reading in the
I've been
comments,
reading
but
because Alicia been
Oh yeah,
having
they
me
been in
tripping
there.
out.
I read a couple of them, but I'm just starting to read now. So I want to go back to what Armin just said.
Yes, ma'am.
They make it seem as though your blessings is attached to the money.
They
And
do.
that makes it makes so much sense to me because when she typed that, I felt that. I've been
Mhm.
working with myself about my relationship with money. And working through this lack and survival mode. So when she put it in there, it was like I didn't even think about the aspect of that my religion back in the day being tied to my relationship with money. Like
Yes.
because that's how they do preach that prosperity. Okay. You gotta give your tithes 10%. My grandmama
Baby.
would give that tithes was paid before bills was paid. And I couldn't understand it. Tithes were paid before bills were paid. My grandma would be in there stressing herself tooth and nail, stressing herself the hell out behind how to pay a bill. And I just sit here and watch you put $100 or more into an envelope to give to the church. That never made any sense to me. Period.
Listen,
I'm
my
like,
mama don't even go to church and she ain't got her tithes. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. She like, I ain't going. I ain't got nothing to give.
I told my pastor my tithes came because look, I showed up to choir practice.
What you said?
I'm out here singing for free. You paid the damn musician. You paid the drummer. You ain't pay me. That's your tithes. Oh, y'all got to pay a $50 assessment for choir anniversary. For what? They didn't like me, y'all, because I'm always one. What for? What for? The lights for the? I said, hey, didn't y'all pay that out the damn offering?
Wait a minute. Wasn't
In the
that going
time,
towards the building fund
and,
offering that y'all took?
and you need some more money? I said, I'm not doing it. I have shown my mama in the Bible that the way they interpret the tithe in scripture is wrong.
Oh yeah.
I showed it to her. And because she took her light bill money and paid tithes. Now I'm gonna give my mama the money. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna give it to her. But I just wanted to try to make her see, well, God, when I pay my tithes, I'll never go broke. I said, Mom, he did give you the money for your light bill. You went and gave it to Pastor Whitehead. That's why you ain't got your light bill money. I don't know what's wrong with you. I didn't raise you like this.
Because that just show you how
how
deeply ingrained the brainwashing is. It's so deeply rooted that we feel like if we don't do this, then I'm gonna be lacking. I'm gonna have lack in my household if I don't give my tithes, right? Then the windows of heaven won't be open for me, and the blessings won't be pouring out. When I started going to church, I had to check that. I said, you know what? I give my tithes. It may not be to that church. I give my tithes when I'm kind to people. If I see somebody on the corner, and I feel led to, let me be clear, I give. When my family called me, hey Court, I'm on hard times. Can you help me out? That's my tithes. When I'm at work and I'm doing the things, I get up every morning and I'm spending time with God, that's my tithes. It ain't gotta be specifically monetary because everything ain't monetary. Because guess what? I still want the fruits of the spirit. I want joy. I want peace. I want love. I want all these things. And it ain't got nothing to do with money.
Can I bring up another point? And
Yes,
I hate
ma'am.
coming back to this. But that's what I was talking about.
Ain't nobody gonna
How
help. They're
I
gonna do a
see
prayer
God.
line.
If you want money and you want this, you should be doing this. I mean, didn't we leave that shit at the church? Because
Mhm.
spirit gonna lead these people where they need to be led to. They're gonna give you the pieces to bring about what's needed in your life. So
Yeah.
now you up here talking about, girl, you better send this money and get this, and I got this, and it just feels like we right back where we said we came from. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Mhm.
pushing this agenda that they got to do certain things to get where they trying to get to. We
Yes.
free from that shit.
Say it
You
again, Miss
Yes.
know,
V.
we free from that shit
Say it
because now
again,
we
Miss V.
understand that spirit is, we're going to understand that spirit is giving us the things we need to be fruitful and multiply and prosper and ascend. We don't need no third party to feed
Come
us
on.
shit. Now, can some tools be helpful? If spirit leads you there.
Yes.
But don't get on this messing with people's heads that's new to the game, new to this space, making them feel like, because they gonna fall for it because they already been indoctrinated to think that way. That's what I'm trying to say.
Say
And
it again.
I
No, literally.
wholeheartedly
Wait a
agree
minute.
with you
I
on
want
that.
Miss V to say that again
Mm-hmm.
because I heard it, but I wasn't listening. And I know somebody just said repeat that V in the chat. So I really want you to repeat that again because I know it was valuable. And sometimes, you know,
I just be feeling like I just, when I hear certain creators encouraging people that they have to get certain things to get the things that spirit already given them the knowledge for. You know, they're going to lead you the way, your team, your guy, you know, they're going to give you what's needed to get you where you're going. But I see a lot of people promoting certain things. You got to buy this, you got to do this, you got to, for you to get this. But I just feel like we already got that understanding. And they fall for that because they've already been set up to believe that they got to earn through a third party what spirit is already setting them up for. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
So,
yes,
and that bothers me because
yeah,
you're taking advantage of people, you're exploiting people.
yeah.
And I know you're gonna see that shit again because that's not right.
Uh-huh.
You turning something that's spiritual and sacred, and of course they're gonna put you where you need to be to make the money or get whatever it is. But some people really are exploiting these spaces and the
Oh
people
yeah.
that's in them.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by bringing that mindset to a whole place where you're supposed to be free.
Come
And
on,
and that
Vicky.
bothers me.
And shift the perspective. Come on now.
I'm just
No, but
saying
it's true. It's true though.
It's
that's
absolutely
where
true
we
because I
at.
didn't look at it like that until she
Mm-hmm.
said what she said. And then I'm looking back at my own experience of when I first dived into spirituality. My ass went out and bought this candle, this conjurer, this herb, this, that.
Mm-hmm.
And half of that shit I still got.
What you said,
I'm just
all
gonna
these
keep it honest
crystals.
with you until it took for me to realize though, um, early on, thank you for that. But early on that I did realize I don't all I need is my attention. All I need is
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
And I can bring forth anything that I desire. It took me a long time to realize that. Now, granted, I don't know if I thought I was healing, but at the same time I learned that I was suppressing because I'm still healing a lot of shit. So
yeah.
I feel like I kind of skipped over some processes, but no, it's my divine timing. It's the path
Mm-hmm.
that was created for me. I may not been able to heal the way that I'm healing now if I started back then because I had a lot of shit going on. So that took me on the route that they felt was necessary for me. And I'm talking about fear when I say that.
Yes.
But it didn't dawn on me until Miss V said that's what I endured or that's what I did when I first got into spirituality. The minute you said it, I literally saw myself back into that point, ordering all this stuff, and then I still got this stuff sitting in boxes like right here. So
Yeah. And I want to right now just give flowers to Ermi and Rita because they were kind of like, I'm not gonna say the first part of my spiritual journey, but kind of helping me unprogram and unplug from the religious part. And both of them alike always tell you, what do your spirit team say? What does God say? Right? It ain't just so much about, like you say, all the things. We got the crystals, we got the books, we got all the stuff. But okay, all that's cool. All the divination is cool. But what do your spirit team say? And I'm so grateful for that, because that is the key to all of it. What is on the inside of you? What does the God in you say about you? Not what do these crystals, what do these cards say? Not none of that. The divination practices is cool. All the candle magic, the glamour magic, all of that, that's cool. But if your heart ain't right, ain't none of that stuff in the work. If you're not open to hearing what spirit have to say as far as your healing journey, all that is for naught. All that stuff ain't nothing but some rocks and some books, some words on the paper. Because if you ain't taking the time to sit down and hear spirit, and spirit say, all right, Keisha, we finna read Sacred Woman, and we finna get your womb together.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not willing to listen and hear that, and you continuously seeking outside validation from other things, people, places, then hey, you might as well stayed in the church. You might as well stayed in the church in the box, because this ain't no box. We out of the box. We expanding, right? We gotta build us. That's what the church don't do, and that's the issue that I have. The church ain't talking
I thought that was
about
the right
you.
place to interject.
It was, and I'm so grateful for it.
Go ahead.
Listen,
And see, for me,
it ain't that.
Army taught me how to decipher what spirit was. You know, not just the voice, but you know, to know that I can feel it, I can see. Like Armin deciphered that for me. She helped me with that. That's what she helped me overcome. And then Rita gave me a Rita's class helped me to understand that it was okay for me to tap into my gifts. Like I still had a barrier up when I left mediumship. Like I wasn't worthy of having the gifts that I had.
Mm-hmm.
And Rita helped me unlock that I am worthy of being able to walk in my divine gifts. These my gifts, you know. So
Yes, and that's the thing. It ain't outside of you. I love y'all. Y'all give me my readings, and I appreciate every one of y'all. Miss V so dope, baby. Miss V get to channeling them spirits, and you'll be sitting there clutching your pearls. But what I tell you, it ain't nothing like knowing that you got access to the gifts that the apostles have, that need the big names out here, and I got the same opportunity and access to have that. I don't need evangelist Kiki. I am the evangelist. I am the prophetess, right? I am the altar. I am the church. It ain't nothing outside of me that I need. God gave me everything I need. Yes, ma'am, Miss V.
And I just got to bring this up one more time. Because if you look at why was religion structured the way it was.
Oh yeah.
If you notice, everything stops. All development of you stops at death. Why would religion not want you to go beyond death? Why would they not want you to think about all that happened before and after? Because everything they talk about is centered on this incarnation, this life, right?
Yes.
There's a reason why they don't want us to think about that, because the continuation of that means that we are building towards that as learning for the sake of learning, not to exalt anyone, not to worship anyone, but for the pure sake of evolving as a soul. And when you're not focused on the evolution of your soul, and everything you do is filtered through somebody else's agenda, then you are missing the mark.
Yes.
The church originally, they knew about this shit because it's all through the Bible. How can you preach against something that you didn't know about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they just want you to stay in fear.
Absolutely.
When you fear death, you don't think about it as an opportunity. You just see it as an end. But death is actually an opportunity. It's the next natural step in your evolution.
Correct.
And when you don't look at it that way, and you can't filter what you're learning here through that, it just stagnates your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like being afraid of death was holding me back from so much.
Me too.
And after I read Dr. Newton's book, Journey of the Souls,
Yes.
and it just opened my mind and expanded what I thought about so much more. Like now I understand I understand that it's a necessary step in the evolution of my soul for me to keep going. But when you take somebody, when you take that away from the people, I just feel like that was the purpose. Like, think about how we are suffering as souls, like we're not evolving like we should be until we, I can't get it exactly how I want to get it, but I just know it's something really important that they wanted to stop because they work too hard at it.
Well, they know that we are powerful. They understand. They understand what it takes for you to really tap in. They know, and they know how to tap in, right? They not operating from ignorance. They just want to keep us ignorant because if we tap into our full power, they can't. They know they can't control us. And what I find very interesting with that situation is that not only that, but just church. I'm looking forward to my payday in heaven. Why ain't I getting?
And that's what I was about to speak on. Like, that's what I was about to speak on, the fear of death. We were literally taught that death was final. So it was like, to me, it's like a Pac-Man game. I'm going to play, and then when I get out, when them three strikes is out, the game is over. I'm either going here or I'm going there.
Yeah.
Heaven or hell. And I never could process it. I never could process it.
Not this loving God. No. Now he gonna send me to hell?
Right.
Because I fully expected to go to hell. I fully expected to go to hell. I never thought I was getting into heaven when I was little. I was afraid. Like my grandmother had me so shook.
I never thought anybody was gonna make it to heaven.
That part.
I never thought any of us gonna see heaven. To be honest with you, like, because it's sin everywhere you go.
We full of sin. That's what it says. We shaped in iniquity, right? Like we are sin.
But I think that that's what paralyzed me the most about death was the fact that I didn't think anybody was going to heaven. I think that's what paralyzed me the most about it. I'm talking about physically paralyzed, like didn't want to talk about. If you mentioned life insurance, anything dealing with death, I'm leaving the room. I didn't want to talk about death at no point in time. And it wasn't until 2015 when I lost my aunt. And then I turned around and lost my grandma exactly 6 months later. That's what started my my quest for knowing that it was more out here. Like, it wasn't no way in hell my grandmom and my grandmom and my auntie was going to hell, and me knowing the souls that they were. Even though my auntie smoked her Newports and drunk her Coke 45, that was a beautiful soul. Ain't no way in hell you gonna tell me because she smoked cigarettes and drink beer and curse, she going to hell. So that's why I started to follow like Dolores Cannon. That's where my journey after life started was Dolores Cannon. And then when Army introduced Michael Newton to me, I think that freed me from that uncertainty that I had. So
I had the same fear. I'm gonna tell you, when my grandma died, my grandma was like my best friend. My grandma loved me. Listen, when my grandma died, people was calling me, "Are you okay?" Like, I understand they gonna call my mama, but people was really, really concerned about me because they knew how close we were. Like, I love my grandma. And I was worried about her, right? Because like you say, the black grandma that's gonna cuss you out and bless you within the same sentence. That's how my grandma was. Well, I'll tell you, but loved God, and she knew God to be, take care of her provider and stuff. My grandma, listen, She didn't. They say you catch the Holy Ghost. She would be at home. If you
I
turn the
really
gospel
feel
music
Lisa.
on, baby, and she get excited. Oh, honey, she gonna let it out right there. It wasn't no holding back. But they had me so, like you say, bound in my mind that I was just like, oh man, is my grandma okay? I was concerned about her well being after she passed. And she came to me in a dream, was like, I'm all right. I'm all right. And I didn't realize, like you say, that was those seeds being planted by those who I cared for, that, you know, there is life after this and they can communicate with us. And so when she came to me, that just gave me the peace that I needed because I was worried about her, you know. But I'm grateful that she let me know and that it ain't all of what they say.
And speaking of communicating with us, like when I was a little girl, I communicated with spirit, but I was told that it was wrong. I was weird. It was demonic. It was evil. It was Satan. Like, so that's where it shut off. It shut off at an early age for me. Thinking back on it, remembering back on it. I probably was like 5 or 6 when I got, you know, chastised for saying that I was speaking to someone's spirit. And then even in my teenage years, I would hear things like the cabinet slamming in the kitchen or something. And I know that like one of my uncles, that was something that he did. I knew it was him. But I didn't know how to go in there and say, Uncle Jeff in the kitchen playing with the cabinets, you know?
Yeah.
I couldn't say that. My other uncle, like standing beside my bed, and my grandmama literally right here, and we in Chicago this particular time. Me and my grandma sleeping in the same bed. We there for a service, a funeral, and I wake up, but my uncle, I see a vision of my uncle who's already deceased right there. I can't roll over and say, Grandma, your brother right here, like, you know. So just suppressing it, suppressing it. It was like it. I think it put that anger in me, Miss V. Because I feel like I had nowhere to turn. It was like I got to a point where I used to wake up and be like, God, why am I still here? Like I woke up again, like damn, you know, instead of waking up happy,
I'm back
about life. Right, I wake up like damn, like I'm still here, but it was because of all the dysfunction I had rooted in me, you know.
Yeah. And that's when you just said at an early age, you asked the other day, when were you silenced? You didn't know when you were silenced. That's when.
That's when I was silenced, yeah. At an early age.
At an early age. No, we don't talk about that.
You know what we also don't talk about? That our ancestors came here already knowing this shit. Deeply rooted in talking to spirit, deeply rooted in the land, nature, you know, and this religion took that from the lineage, right? So now that we're coming back to it, you see how even people that look like us get intimidated by the thought that actually was something we already knew how to fucking do, right? Many cultures had their relationships with spirit. And you know, they specifically said not talking to spirits. I'm thinking it's not just the spirits they were talking about, like loved ones passed away. They're talking about your spirit guides.
Yeah.
Your team, your deities. They want us disconnected because that's how they maintain the control.
Yeah.
So it's deeper than even, and then look at the way that we suffer with grief. How we get stagnant in grief. Because think about it, if you always knew this and you were raised believing that, hey, not one day in heaven, but I can talk to my loved ones even when they're not here. I can see Aunt Sally. I can talk, you know, but you don't have that.
Yeah.
You're here. Oh my God, this is the end. I'm never going to see them again. It's never going, because I still struggle with that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, because them seeds are so deeply rooted, right? But think about if we grew up with that knowledge, surefire fucking knowledge, that this not the end.
Yes.
They got us fucked up. I'm still, but you can. I mean, it's just messed up how when you think about how far-reaching this thing is in your life. Not just not going to the building, but all the things that you thought you knew.
But
Yeah.
you can also still see traces of the truth in our traditions. Like, for instance, can't nobody tell me my grandma didn't practice hoodoo or my family didn't practice hoodoo because of how I grew up with the certain rituals and superstitions, like the pennies over the door in the bag in the water, just all kind of things. We didn't go to no doctors. I didn't learn what a doctor was till I became pregnant. Like, we wasn't going to no doctors. Grandma was healing us in the kitchen.
And you know,
I think I was telling you
so.
about it yesterday, wasn't it, Coco?
Yeah.
know.
But that piggyback off of what Army taught us in Intuition Ignited was that, you know, they still practice their rituals under the umbrella of religion because they had to conform, right? But we still gonna hold fast to some of these things. So like the Pentecostal church, you know, they still got stuff. The Catholic church, they still do candles and angels and all of the things, which is what we do with spirituality. You know, you just tapped into Archangel Michael last week. And you know, like they been doing this. They've been calling on these angels all this time. What gets me with our religion is that the only two angels they know is Michael and Gabriel. No, the Bible said it was a whole host of angels. So why when we come on the spiritual side and we start finding out the different angels and the different purposes and stuff and the jobs that they have, and that we can call on not just Michael and Raphael and Gabriel, we can call on somebody else. We can call on the Saint Peter, and we can call on this one, and they all serve a purpose. But when we do that, oh, that's demonic. Oh, you shouldn't do that. Because anything that they attach the word demonic to, that's really what's spiritual. I'm convinced. I'm convinced at this point, if it's spiritual, they're going to say it's demonic. Yeah. Because they don't want us tapping into our full understanding and awareness. They don't want us to fully know. Can you imagine what it was like if you had been tapping into Archangel Michael at the age of 6?
Well, I got a question. If spirituality is so demonic, where are Jim Jones at?
Ma'am?
Where are Jim Jones at? If it's so demonic, I mean, because the atrocities that's been committed in the name of Christianity.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
And you do know that with the Church of God in Christ Church, Coco.
Yeah.
And Ms. V, you know, the founding father, as they call him, whoever founded it, he was a practitioner.
Yeah, he was a hoodoo practitioner. Absolutely.
Right. And you know, it originated here. We just had the convocation. I just drove lifted Uber for the convocation stop. But like,
you don't understand is demonized. Absolutely.
Exactly. We have a place here that we was banned to go as a child, and it's called Voodoo Village. But he was a practitioner. When I did my research on Voodoo Village, because I was always drawn to Voodoo Village, and I used to get in trouble because I used to take my and I couldn't. They didn't want us to go down there, but I was always drawn to Voodoo Village, and I did my research. He was a practitioner. He wasn't silenced about. They tried to silence him. They tried to kill this man. They was, terrorizing his home and everything. But he was. It was some well-known celebrity people and well-known people that were actually coming to him for guidance and healing. Yeah. Right down the street from me, and I was told I couldn't go. You know, it's insane.
Because we want to connect with somebody that look like us, and so many, I think, in those situations, like I said, the church wasn't doing it. Like Alicia was sharing with us the other day how, she can relinquish, demons and all this type of stuff. And then somebody that needed that service done went to the church, and church said they didn't know how to do it.
Cause they probably was okay. I'm gonna be nice.
Listen, that's crazy. The church don't know how to do an exorcism. The church don't know how to get rid of demons and devils. Y'all talk about it, but y'all can't be about it. But y'all don't want us to know how to do it. So now we just walking around here just being, traumatized by entities. Man, this not real life.
But a lot of these people that's in these churches, let's understand, back in the day, there were only really two things, and I'm gonna speak on what I know about the
Yes,
black
ma'am.
community
Yes,
that
ma'am.
you could go into. You could be a preacher or you could be a teacher. Okay. A lot of these people started going into church not because they believed the doctrine that they were preaching. It was a profession.
It's a profession.
You got a lot of people behind the pulpit that for real don't even believe in God.
Yeah.
That for real don't even believe.
Ain't
They don't
tapped
believe
into nothing but the money.
They just there for it's a job.
Listen.
It's a legit business. So
yes.
It don't surprise me that they don't really believe in the entities that we're talking about because they don't even believe in a God for real.
They ain't even tapping in. Ain't even tapping in. Like, only time you reading your Bible is when you preparing for your sermon.
Hell, no bullshit. They could have done okay.
And I was getting ready. See, we on the same page. I say, and they probably some of them might not even be yours. You done copied it.
They out of touch because when you look around the world that we're currently living in, the fact that a young lady on TikTok could call 26 churches and 2 could help, 2 could reach out to the community that they supposedly serve.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get political, but even the way that we ended up with Orangey, you can't tell me that all them people who claim they Christians, they claim they know the word, they got the love. How could you put somebody like that over us? These are the same people that was out there boycotting sinners and Harry Potter, but y'all can't see this evil shit. You couldn't see this motherfucker ain't got good intentions, but you out here protesting against a damn movie.
Right, because Harry Potter opened your mind up to the fact that you have access to magic. Harry Potter have you thinking about the fact that you can tap in and actually move energies. Pastors do it. Some of these evangelists and stuff do it. They do energy transfer, slay a whole crowd of people with the wave of the hand. How are they doing that? They tapping in. But, it's demonic.
It's at this point we know that this is willful. This is not that you actually don't know or can't know. The age of information is upon us.
Yes, ma'am.
My 75-year-old mama know how to Google shit. So if they really wanted to know something, they would know it.
But it's not. I don't think it's the fact of them not wanting to know at this point, Ms. V. I think it's the fear of knowing that has them paralyzed and stuck because it's so many people that want to see what's outside of religion, but that religion has them still bound, and a lot of them will perish that way. Unfortunately, a lot of our family members that we love deeply will perish that way.
Yeah, we've had several.
And we'll have to come back and repeat some stuff. But it is what it is.
Well, I hope can only be a voice. I hope they put me somewhere else. I'm calling. Look, put me somewhere else. Tap me out. Tag me out.
You ain't coming back over here.
I done learned all the shit I need to learn from this family. Put me with somebody else. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. The lesson has been learned.
Man.
And the fact that I know I participated in this discussion in the spirit realm, and I helped select these motherfuckers. That's what be getting me. Like, I
chose them.
Yeah. What was I thinking? We'll have to talk about that another time. But
yes, what was I thinking?
Yes.
Miss V, I'll be on the same type of time. I'll be asking the same thing. I'll be like, man, I chose this. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't no rich people that day. It wasn't no lives that I could just run. I mean, you could have gave me Sean Combs shit because he clearly didn't appreciate
it. He didn't appreciate.
He didn't appreciate it.
What you said.
I'm just saying. But ladies, I enjoyed our discussion. I did. I hope all of you guys in the chat did as well. Any questions? We didn't even involve our chat, y'all. They've been so patient with us.
They just been chatting. I've been reading the comments.
Look, I've been trying to read it. We was talking so good. I didn't even want to interrupt and say nothing to the chat. But we gonna get it together. This first episode, it can only get better.
Yes, it's our first episode. Thank you, Alicia. Love you too. Thank you, Ermi. Thank you, Lena.
Thank y'all. And we love each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for coming out support. Tune in next Sunday.
So do we have a final words, right?
And
Like
I want to say
final
thank you to
thoughts.
Coco, our first special guest.
Yes.
Thank you. You're
And I
welcome.
want to say a
It was
final word. I've
it
been
was
saying the final word the whole time.
yeah. Only thing I really want to say is like we had this conversation and we talked about a lot of different things, right? We talked about religion, we talked about grief, we talked about our healing journeys. And the only thing I really want to say is check in with you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get caught up in what nobody else say in regards to what your journey's supposed to look like.
Yes.
That's
You
good.
can get advice from other people. You can search the word, search books.
Thank you, Army.
Thank
Thank
you, Irma.
y'all.
Check in with you.
Yes.
Check in with you. Check in with your higher self. Check in with the God that you believe in. And enjoy the journey.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have your ups and downs. But keep going.
Yes.
That's it. That's all. Just keep going because it's going to get better. That's all. That's all I have to say. Like, just check in with you because we get so caught up on how things should be looking. And a lot of times, how things should be looking is compared to somebody else's journey.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go through what Keisha went through, so I can't act like I did. I didn't go through what V went through, so I can't act like I did. Only thing I can act like is Courtney. Only person I can be is Courtney. Be okay being you. Be okay with how your journey is turning out.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have no shame that you ain't where you supposed to be. That you thought that you would be in a certain place in your life. You right where you're supposed to be right now.
Yeah.
And that's just what I want to leave everybody with. Because comparison is still the thief of joy. And as long as you are comparing yourself to other people, trying to be somebody else, you will never be the very best version of yourself. Be okay being you.
And that's whether you in religion or spirituality. Or
Yep.
don't or in between. You can be an
Yep.
atheist. It don't matter.
Don't. And
Be
that's the
okay
thing.
with being
Don't
you.
let that determine who you are. If
Yes.
it don't resonate, leave it alone.
Absolutely.
Well, my last words is this, and this is going because I just feel this from somebody. And I know I'm not the only person going through this. Act the fuck up this week. Tell anybody that what you got to say. Tell them. If you feel like screaming, scream it. If you feel like crying, crying. Act the fuck up. Stop waiting for permission to work through your grief. To work through your grief with the living, the dead, the boss man. Stop waiting for permission to feel the things and work through the things that are necessary for your healing. Because we are stagnating ourselves by not allowing ourselves to do what we need to do. You don't need to wait for people permission. It's okay.
It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I resonate with that very deeply. Yeah. Thank you for that.
And our esteemed host.
Come on, host. You got a word.
We the host. No.
You.
Act the fuck up with Vic. You hear me? You being you and act. But what can I come after that and say? Look, continue to be you. That's it. That's all. So I'm just thankful that you all was able to join us. I'm thankful that Coco accepted the invitation. I'm thankful for my co-host, Miss B, because she gonna come and pop her shit every time. I was so grateful. And for me, this week is just knowing that it's okay. That's it. That's all. Just it's okay. If whatever I'm feeling, it's okay. My feelings are valid. So I'm still working through how not to suppress my stuff, So it's okay. Your feelings are valid. Whatever it is.
Always.
That's
Your
it.
feelings are always valid.
Yeah.
Yes, Keisha, that's a word. This is what the young folks do, ain't it?
That's
I
what they
clocked
be
it.
doing.
My
I don't know
daughter be
what the
like,
heck
"Don't do
this
that shit
means.
no
What
more,
is
mom."
this?
Clock it.
Clock it.
Is this the
Yeah.
bird beak? What is
Yeah,
this?
Girl, I don't
clock
know.
it. I'm Gen X, y'all. You
What
know I be
is
trying to
Yeah.
catch up.
Miss V? I feel like we be trying to catch up together.
Yeah, girl,
I'm like, what's
girl.
going on?
Well, do you
Clock
want to
it.
do the thing at the end, Keisha? Let them know where, what time.
Absolutely. So it will be every Sunday from 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on TikTok until Spirit lead us to another platform. So we'll see y'all back on next week.
Yep. Thank you guys for
Thank you
checking
so
in.
much. Y'all have a great one.
You too.